I'm going to move on. Go ahead. No, I'm going to wait. No.
How will you
go ahead.
grade yourself on your goal of being the most transparent administration?
Go ahead. I've taken like 3 questions. I'm going to move on. Go ahead.
No answer there?
Oh, go ahead. I've already taken 3 of your questions. I'm going to make sure some of your colleagues get an opportunity as well.
I guess we've heard variations of that answer through the briefing, but I guess more plainly, I'm wondering, if you'll just say your view, which seems to be that Trump gets no credit.
I've shared my view. I don't have anything else to share. I've shared how we got to this point. The president shared that moments ago. He laid out in very succinct way on how we got to this point. I've talked about Brett McGurk, who's on the ground talking to negotiators, has been there working at the direction of this president, the leadership, obviously, of the National Security Advisor. This has been something that has been in the works for months, way before November. That is just how this has worked. I'm not here to talk about the transition. I'm not here to talk about who gets credit, not get credit. I'm here to talk about what this president has been able to do.
And then secondly, obviously this is a really big day on the foreign policy and national security front. This is your last briefing, or the administration's last briefing. Is there a reason why John Kirby isn't here to take your questions?
So look, I just mentioned that Brett McGurk is going to be holding, and National Security Council is holding up a call. I think that's going to be really important. They will talk more about the implementation of this. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan was just here 2 days ago on Monday, and I think kind of laid out a really good framework for all of this, the thinking process, how this was going to move forward. And Brett McGurk, he is on the ground. He has all of the information. He has been there at the direction of this president, certainly with National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan leading that effort. And so he's going to have a lot more information than any of us here will have, because he's been on the ground, understanding, working with the negotiators and understanding how this process has worked. So that's how this works.
How many Americans are going to be in the first tranche, and when will they start coming out?
It's a good question. That's why Brett McGurk is going to be holding this National Security Council call. He will have all of that information. The president even said the same thing when he was asked a similar question, that we will have more details to share. And so the National Security Council, Brett McGurk, will share that with all of you, hopefully momentarily, once this